to start then. To start. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We have reached التدريب الخامس. It says اقرأ الكلمات والنص ثم اكتب الكلمات في الفراغات. They want you to read the words, so they've given you some vocab here, and then they want you to read the passage and put these words in the passage. يلا عالم غير. بسم الله, you can start.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الكبير الجامعة إلى أخي عطلة معه. الأول.
What does عطلة mean?
Holidays.
Holiday. Carry on.
أحب السفر كثيرا. I love traveling a lot. والسفر هواية جميلة. And traveling is a good hobby. كان والدي يحب السفر أيضا. My father also loves traveling.
Yeah, كان for the past tense. So my father used to like traveling also.
My father used to love traveling as well. ذهبت أخي والدي وأنا في المدرسة. Correct?
ذهبت. No, ذهبت. What did you say? ذهبت?
أخي.
I went, my brother, my father, and I madrasa.
Okay. ذهبت
خيبر.
ذهبت مع والدي وأنا I went with my father وأنا في المدرسة and I'm
whilst I was whilst. So sometimes waw is waw al-hal, which means it's a condition, i.e. it translates to whilst. So I went with my father while I was in madrasa, while I was still in school في المرحلة الابتدائية. That's like primary school. Carry on.
ذهب في المرحلة الابتدائية in the primary school إلى الشرق والغرب to the east and west إلى باكستان والعراق ومصر
إلى باكستان. Then it says there, doesn't it say والعراقي?
والعراق ومصر to Pakistan, Iraq and مصر. وأنا طالب في الجامعة when I was the student at the university. ذهبت مع الطلاب في عطلة الصيف. I went with my colleagues to the summer holidays.
With the students, the summer holidays.
إلى عمان ومسقط وصنعاء. To Oman, to Muscat and Sana'a.
Carry on. خيبر.
وأنا طالب في الجامعة.
He read that in the blue, number 2.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. درست الطب في كلية الطب.
مفعول به.
طب في كلية الطب بجامعة دمشق.
بجامعة دمشق. Yeah.
I studied medicine in the College of Medicine in the Syrian University
of Damascus, Damascus.
وأعمل الآن طبيبا في مستشفى الجامعة. And I work at the moment as a doctor in the university hospital. في مدينة حلب ولي أسرة كبيرة. I don't know. بمدينة in the
Halab is a name of a city. Okay. في المستشفى. إيش في المستشفى الجامعتي. Let's see.
ولي أسرة كبيرة. and I have a big family.
كبيرة. أسرة feminine.
لي أسرة كبيرة. ولا نترك السفر وأنا وأسرتي. ما معنى؟
ولا نترك السفر, and we don't leave traveling. أنا وأسرتي, me and my family.
فأنا أذهب مع أسرتي. So then I went.
I go.
And then I go with my family في الج... في ال... أخي في العطلة.
Yeah, في عطلة.
في عطلة الصيف. وننتقل من مدينة إلى مدينة بالقطار أو بالحافلة أو بالطائرة. And I go.
انتقل is to move. Yeah, so we move from city to city by
بالقطار, by train and by bus and by
and
aeroplane.
هذا النزهة. Next.
يحب أولادي السفر أيضا. My children also love traveling. وزار أولادي القاهرة وبيروت.
Zara is to visit.
My children visited Cairo and Beirut. ويريد أولادي السفر في هذه العطلة إلى دمشق. And my children want to go on vacation to Damascus.
Yes, so my children would like to travel in this holiday or during the holiday to Damascus. Carry on.
سأبقى في هذه العطلة في حلب. سأبقى.
بقي to remain. Yeah, so I will remain.
I will remain حلب.
Halab is the name of a place.
I will remain in Halab for this holiday. عندي عمل كثير في المستشفى. I have a lot of work in the hospital. وستذهب أسرتي عطلتي دمشق وستذهب
أسرتي وستذهب أسرتي
إلى دمشق وتقضي عطلة مع أخي.
قضى يقضي is to spend, and they will spend the holiday with
my brother.
Well done. We look here, there were how many spaces? 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you had 6 words. Where did Al-Kabir go?
في المستشفى الكبير.
المستشفى الكبير. That's also what I thought. But then where would Jamia go?
وأنا طالب في الجامعة.
Where is that?
line 3.
Well done. طيب أجب عن الأسئلة التالية. ما هوايته؟ سيدة, you understand the question? ما هوايته?
What is his hobby?
Yes.
Safari.
السفر. طيب ما مهنته؟ What's مهنة?
Profession.
Yes. ما مهنته؟
Doctor. طبيب.
طبيب. The correct علم غير؟
طبيب.
طبيب. طيب ما جنسيته سيدة؟
Nationality.
Yes.
I don't know.
علم غير؟
Halab.
سوري.
سوري. سوريان. طيب أين درس الطب؟ علم غير؟
درس الطب في كلية الطب
أين؟ which كلية الطب؟
في جامعة دمشق.
جامعة دمشق. طيب إلى أين ذهب وهو في المرحلة الابتدائية؟ Where did he go whilst he was still in primary school? علم غير.
إلى الشرق والغرب، إلى باكستان والعراق ومصر.
طبعا. إلى أين ذهب وهو طالب في الجامعة خيبر؟
When he was a student, where did he go in the German? إلى الصيف.
No, you said he went to the summer.
وننتقل من مدينة إلى مدينة بالطائرة أو
He says
بالقافلة.
ذهبت مع الطلاب في عطلة الصيف إلى عمان in Jordan, ومسقط عمان in Oman, صنعاء in Yemen. That's where he went. He was to brush up. إلى أين ذهب وهو طالب في الجامعة نزهة؟ asked that question. أين تقضي الأسرة هذه العطلة نزهة؟
أين تقضى؟
أين means where. So they're asking where are the family going to spend this holiday?
دمشق. No. قاهرة وكايرو and بيروت.
علم غير. Where is Qahira or Beirut? They're saying Zara, which means they already visited in the past tense. Zara أولادي. Now they're saying أين تقضي الأسرة هذه العطلة? Where will they spend this holiday?
دمشق.
إلى دمشق.
في دمشق. So they'll go دمشق. This here is a writing exercise. سل بين الحروف. In the previous writing exercises, they taught you how to join the letters. So all this is writing. اكتب الكلمة تحت الصور. I want you to write the words under the correct vocabulary. What's this khaybar? Just give me these four. Start off with a bag.
حقيبة.
And next you've got, what have you got?
جواز السفر.
Just ignore this. You say
تذاكر.
jawaz, this one, تذاكر. And this one here, what's that?
قلم.
Where's the, is there qalam written there?
أسود.
Aswad. So we want a black pen. قلم أسود. And then this one,
فندق.
that one.
ضابط.
And this one.
مسافر.
Musafir, traveler. So travel. This traveler here is going. And what's this last one?
أطفال.
أطفال. أحسنت. Well done. Shall I stop there?
Sheikh, one
Still
question.
ask.
In the passage, second paragraph, is it
عراقة.
no, the last paragraph, سأبقي or سأبقى?
سأبقى. Where's that?
The last paragraph, second line. Shall we say
Last paragraph.
سأبقى في هذه or سأبقي?
Yeah. Ab. It can't be P because there's no two dots under the ya. سأبقى. سأبقى like مستشفى. Not مستشفي. مستشفى. And here you got another writing exercise saying join between the two. But خطوط etc. أهلا وسهلا. Simple. رتب الكلمات لتصبح جملة. So here they've given you the sentence not in order. So you have to put it. So you ask أين تأشيرة الخروج? And then they're saying اكتب ما يملى عليك. Saying write what's going to be said to you. So all these exercises, you guys can do them. And if you don't understand, ask. The same with this one. It says ضع علامة صح على الكلمة التي كتبت خطأ ثم اكتبها صحيح. Basically they're saying mark the word that's been written wrong and then write it correctly. أسابيع أقامة إقامة. What's missing? Or what's been written wrong?
أقامة.
Or why would أقامة be written wrong?
أقيم.
Here, which one's written wrong? Anyone?
أسابيع.
Why?
أسابيع.
أسبوع. أسابيع. أقامة. إقامة. أحاديث. Here's همزة القطع. So you got a small little hamza that has to come there. أحاديث. That's the mistake. ازدحام القدم. قادم. Can you see here they were supposed to join the dal and the meme. That's what's written wrong. Here the fa, this is how you write a fa when it's in the middle. So you're supposed to actually write without a tail here. Fataha. Then this one here is wrong because you got طائرة. It's supposed to have a round ta. طائرة. And here ضرب غال غدا. Here the ghain here is how you would write it if it was in the middle of the word. If it's at the beginning, you write it like this. Can you see? So they're slowly teaching you how to become, how to pay attention to detail even more. I think we'll stop there and we can do the tadrib next, inshallah. You need to carry on reading. I think, remind you, the book so far is okay, but you need to now start finding there's a book. I think you can start with a book like Qasasun Nabiyyin, and then you read 2-3 pages every day. So you maintain your reading. You start having your fa'il, maf'ul bihi, your harakat correct. And you also start getting your tongue used to reading. So then you'll be able to read fast. MashaAllah, Alam Ghiri is very fast.
I can imagine his Quran recitation. Very.
His teacher is my teacher.
I think what slows you down is tajweed then. At a young age, when you learn tajweed before learning to read, I think it slows you down.
If you learn tajweed properly, after 1 month, you'll be able to read everything correctly. You just need to have somebody on top of you and strict, and they mustn't let you pass until you know it. But then people's tajweed also differs. So somebody who's like on 0%, you can't treat them like they're on 100%. So you have to let them go a little bit, let them get to 10%, 20%, 30%, and then you'll carry on like that. But if you carry on practicing, you'll get there, inshallah. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The last lesson we had spoken about those people. We had started off with the people who are deserving of zakah, Then we spoke about the people who are not deserving of zakah. And to end off this fasl or this little chapter, they mention a few masail with regards to what happens if, literally the mas'ala is, you end up giving your zakah to somebody who you thought to be deserving, but they were actually not deserving. And we could, to simplify it, you could divide it into two. Okay. If we said you give zakah to a poor person, let's say you see somebody on the road, you think he's poor apparently. So for example, a street sweeper. You saw him, you think he's poor, so you think, let me give him my zakah. It would be out of, it wouldn't be correct etiquette to go and ask somebody, oh, do you own nisab? Or are you a poor person? Are you deserving of zakah? You would disgrace that person. So from apparently what it seems is that this person is deserving of zakah. So you give him your zakah. And eventually you find out that this person was actually not deserving of zakah. Okay? This is, that's why when they say, ظَنَّ أَنَّهُ فَقِيرٌ, he thought he was a poor person, فَبَانَ أَنَّهُ غَنِيٌّ. And then it became apparent that he's actually considered a rich person and well off. Is the person's zakah counted or not? So let's say you had, let's say you had to give $1,000 in zakah, okay? And this poor person who you thought was deserving of zakah, you went and you gave him this 1,000. In order not to embarrass him, you never ask him that, are you deserving of zakah? Are you poor? Are you sure you own nisab or you don't own nisab? You never ask him any of that. You thought he was poor, so you gave him a street sweeper, for example. After a while, you found out that, no, he's actually not deserving of zakah, however you may have found out. And now you can't go back to him and say, now give me that 1,000 because it's zakah. Some people do that, but in the books of fiqh, they say that here your zakah is still counted. Here your zakah is counted. The Hanafi madhab, they have an opinion to say that it's counted. Also, there is a second opinion to say, no, alayhi al-i'adah, which literally means he must repeat his zakah. So you give 1,000, that 1,000 is gone, and you must give it out again. Also, they speak about, let's say, if he's given a person and he doesn't know that it's somebody he's not supposed to give in terms of his lineage, his son or his father. And let's say, for example, somebody might say, how is that possible? It's possible if you think that somebody is begging at night and in the dark, and they don't want to be shown or they don't want to be known by everybody because it was something disgraceful to beg. You find somebody sitting on the side in the dark, there was no electricity like we had in those days, face is covered and everything, and you see him and you're passing him and you have to give a few dollars of zakah and you have it in your pocket and you give it to him. And then afterwards you find out that, no, I've actually given somebody who's from my family tree that I'm not supposed to be giving. Here again, the Hanafi madhab, they still say two opinions. They say that first is that it's okay, it's done now, it's finished. Second opinion is he must repeat. So wallahu a'lam, a fair opinion seems that inshallah his zakah is done. However, there's one mas'ala where they say that if he gives to this person, even though he never know, he must repeat, and this they agree on. What's that? If he gives it to a person who is, as we mentioned, his slave or his mukatab, so he gives zakah to that person, they all agree that here he must give zakah again. Why? Because that wealth belongs to him, even if he's given it to the slave, to his slave, should I say. So I hope you understood. So here, in agreement, they said that he must repeat his zakah. Did you understand? Did you understand up to there? Yeah, I'm taking that you guys understood. Next mas'ala they mention, and they specify this in the Hanafi books. They say that what if you give a person who owns nisab? They're talking about a person who owns nisab. They say under no circumstance can you give a person who owns zakah, who owns nisab, you can't give him zakah. So for example, if we say the threshold is 10,000 and this person has 10,000, they say you can't give him zakah. And we had mentioned that due to our paper money, due to some people gauging the nisab, at only $200 according to silver, you would find that these people are still considered poor, and you can give them. And it differs from place to place, time to time, and the needs of people. So a person who, in some places, a person who may own nisab may still be considered poor and in need. Okay. Also, they mention if you've got a young, strong, healthy person able to earn, okay, but he doesn't own nisab, okay, here they say you're allowed to help him with a zakah. So you've got a young, strong person. Let's say you've got a 20-year-old guy on the street. He's young, he's strong, he can still work, but he's extremely poor. He's got nothing, he's destitute. They say here you can help him with a zakah. So notice the difference. What are they gauging it on? They're gauging it on nisab. They're saying this guy, as long as he owns nisab, don't give him anything. And this guy, even if he's young, etc., but he doesn't have, or he hasn't reached that threshold, you can give him. Last mas'ala they touch on is to move your zakah from place to place or country to country. It's better to give your zakah in the place where you earned that wealth. So if you're living in whichever country you're living in, you earned that wealth in that country. The asl and the default, according to the Hanafi madhab as well as a few other schools, is you give in that same locality, in that same country, in that same city. Why? Hadith of Mu'adh radiallahu anhu, where the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, when you go to the people of Yemen, one of the things he says, أخبرهم أن الله افترض عليهم صدقة تؤخذ من أغنيائهم. Inform them that Allah has made a zakah compulsory, which will be taken from the rich from amongst them, فَتُرَدُّ فِي فُقَرَائِهِمْ, and it will be returned amongst the poor, i.e. the poor in that community. So the default, we're saying, according to the Hanafi madhab as well as a few others, is you give zakah in your locality. So let's say you live in this country here, you earned your wealth here, you give it here. The people who are poor, they know you, they know your business, they know everything. So it's would only be right for them to also benefit from that wealth. However, at times they do make an exception to say, if there are others who are more deserving in a further country. So let's say the people in your country who are considered poor, they may have a place to stay, they may have a few things, and then you've got people who've had a famine and natural disaster, etc., and they need zakah. Here you would be allowed to give your zakah or to give it to somebody who's going to take it to another place. So that's number one. And number two is, if you've got relatives who are deserving, even if they're living in another country, and we're not talking about your original family tree, your father, mother going up and your children going down. No, let's say a cousin, somebody related to you from a little bit further. Here you also allowed to give your zakah in their country or in their place, even if you're not in the same locality. So that's where they make the exceptions to say here it's okay. In fact, it's more rewarding. Those are the masail which were left over. And inshallah, tomorrow we'll speak about Sadaqatul Fitr, finish off, and then we can start off with Hajj. Bi-idhnillah. Any questions? It's quite simple, the last part of zakah.
Sheikh, I have a question.
Yeah.
I guess because I missed the last one. What we are saying actually is those who are not reached the nisab are eligible to take the zakah.
Yes.
Okay.
Those who have not reached, but you can make an exception to say that, let's say the guy is able to work, he's just sitting at home and being lazy. Here you don't have to give him zakah. But let's say he's somebody who's able to work and that has tried his best, but he hasn't reached, let's say, for example, if nisab is 5,000, he's got 2,000, even though he works and that, and he's able to work, you can help him with zakah. He's considered from the poor.
Okay. Understood.
Any other questions? So far we've taken shurut al-zakah, conditions of zakah. We took zakah on all those, on the wealth that's supposed to be, zakah is supposed to be given out on. And now we're finishing off with a few of these masail. Then you move on to Sadaqatul Fitr. And then inshallah with that you are done with Kitabul Zakah. And then when you go to another madhab, you'll see the mas'ala stays the same, but just find a second opinion. And at times the other madhahib, their opinions, you'll find that even in one madhab you find difference of opinion, then you find from that other madhab, they generally fall into this difference of opinion. Sometimes they may have their own way of looking at it or their own usul and rules. But it becomes a lot simpler. It is a longer way of learning fiqh, but it becomes a lot simpler if you learn one properly and then second, third, fourth. Inshallah, we can move on.
So, I have a question, but I'm not asking it now because it might make waste a lot of time in answering.
No, so don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask.
I have a question.
Yeah. With what
you
we've
men-
taken. Huh?
Yes, with the zakat. You mentioned in the beginning about there's like a difference between the rainwater, how much you use, and how much you use from the water of Allah, and how much you have to work for. But then you just mentioned that's there, but there's like no specific number that you gave.
No, it's the number is there. So they say it depends. So they look at the year, okay? Same like the animal that's grazing. They say if it's half the year or more, they'll take the higher figure. If they've used the rainwater, etc., half the year or more, they'll take. If they've used the rainwater for more than half the year, they'll take the higher figure. If they've used their water for most of the year and here and there it rains, they'll take the lower figure. And if it's half, they'll take half of both figures. I hope you remember that.
I don't remember that. So
Revise and you'll find it. And if you don't find it in Zad, they put it in a very nice way. In two lines, he summarizes all what I said and more. Inshallah, I'll get it for you. I can't remember it off my head. طيب. Carry on. تبع السؤال والجواب مع زميلك كما في المثال. Here we had stopped at this exercise. This is the example. What they're teaching you to say is first, second, and third, bearing in mind that I told you guys before, the American system, as well as the Middle Eastern system, this is called first floor, and this is called first floor, and this is called second floor. There's British system, as well as us, we take this as ground floor, and then we take this as first floor. Okay. So it says, كم غرفة في الشقة? How many rooms in the apartment? في الشقة 5 غرف. In the apartment are 5 rooms. Then he says, في أي دور? On which floor is the شقة? في الدور الخامس. On the 5th floor. So here they've given you how many rooms and which floor. So I'm going to ask the question in blue and you will answer. Ibrahim. This one here. كم غرفة في الشقة? Join. في الشقة.
في الشقة 4 غرفة.
في الشقة 4 غرف. Same like this. Same like this. Follow the example.
في الشقة 4 غرفة.
غرف plural. Yeah, they've given it to you.
Yeah. غرف.
طيب في أي دور الشقة؟
في دور الرابع.
On the 4th floor. عمر, next. كم غرفة في الشقة؟
في الشقة 3 غرفة.
They've given it to you. Yeah, right, you guys can see. Yeah. غرف. Plural. غرفة 1. So they're asking you, How many rooms? It's the way of asking. When you're asking the question, you're asking with singular. It says ثلاث غرف. Again, كم غرفة في الشقة?
الدور الثالث.
No, again, كم غرفة في الشقة?
Okay. ثلاث غرفة.
If you guys don't answer, we'll stop your lesson until you guys revise. I did it too. The previous batch, we stopped completely until they revised and they knew their work. طيب, let's try another one. النزهة. كم غرفة في الشقة? This one here, number 2. This one here. في الشقة.
في الشقة 3 غرف.
في أي دور الشقة؟
في الدور الثالث.
Yeah, and join the ألف and lam. في الدور الثالث.
في الدور الثالث.
Well done. Next one, right? Did you guys learn? السيدة. كم غرفة في الشقة? This one.
في الشقة 5 غرف.
في أي دور الشقة؟
في الدور الثاني.
في الدور الثاني, on the second floor. طيب, عالم غير. كم غرفة في الشقة؟
في الشقة 4 غرف.
في أي دور الشقة؟
في الدور الأول.
في الدور الأول. أحسنت. هاتي جملا كما في المثال. Saying give us a sentence كما في المثالين, as in the 2 examples. It says لدينا شقة جميلة. They're teaching you how to use a descriptive word. And they're saying if the thing you're describing is feminine, the description will also be feminine. So it's got تا مربوطة, تا مربوطة. Masculine will stay masculine. No تا مربوطة, no تا مربوطة. لدينا, which means we have, شقة جميلة. لدينا بيت جميل. So they're saying for feminine use جميلة, and for masculine use جميل. طيب, عمر, first one. لدينا أثاث. Carry on.
لدينا أثاث جميل.
جميل. And the one below?
لدينا سجادة جميلة.
جميلة. Huh?
Yeah.
Ibrahim, next one. This one here.
You want it in feminine or masculine?
Depends what's the.
Oh, okay.
It's not up to me.
لدينا أريكة جميلة.
Well done. The one below it. What does لدينا أريكة جميلة mean?
The sofa is beautiful.
لدينا, we have.
Oh, we
a
have
beautiful sofa.
We have a beautiful sofa.
And the next one?
لدينا سخان جميل.
سخان. Look, they all have ضمة. سخان جميل.
سخان جميل.
What's the meaning?
We have a beautiful
Water heater?
Yeah, water heater. You call it a boiler.
A boiler, geyser, whatever it is. طيب, next one, سيدة.
لدينا فرن جميل. We have a beautiful oven.
The next one below it.
لدينا غرفة جميلة. We have a beautiful room.
Well done. طيب, here ملخص التراكيب. This is summary of the different structures they gave you how to make a sentence. So they taught you how to use أريد. أريد means I want, I would like. At times also means I intend. So you can, and then you tell them what you wanted. Good masculine or feminine, because this is a verb. أريد ستارة, أريد مرآة, etc. Then هل, questioning word, and you generally answer it with نعم أو لا. هل تسكن في بيت? Do you live in a house? هل تسكن في شقة؟ هل تسكن في حي المطار? etc. Then you got نعم أسكن في بيت and لا أسكن في شقة, etc. Then you've got في الشقة, in the apartment, 3 4 5, etc. Then أريد شقة من فضلك, here they taught you how to say please. Then الشقة في الدور الأول أو في الدور الثاني في الدور الثالث, etc. On which floor it is? That's either on first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. Then كم غرفة في الشقة, how many? So كم is a questioning word to say how many. So how many rooms in the apartment, how many curtains in the apartment, how many bathrooms in the apartment, etc. Then you've got لدينا, which means we have لدينا بيت جميل, فرن جميل, سخان جميل, etc. Then لدينا شقة جميلة, feminine. And then في أي دور شقة, في أي غرفة الثلاجة, في أي بيت الغرفة. Guys understand that? And this is a listening and writing exercise, listening and reading exercise. And you carry on to this. It's also a listening exercise. All what you've taken, these are listening exercises. You listen to the tapes. And you've got this. And then after that, a module comes to an end. Any questions with what you guys have taken? If you carry on and you persist with it, you'll get used to it.
Sheikh,
When it comes
Assalamu alaikum. Question, how do you ask how many floors are there in the apartment building?
Can we give you that for homework?
Okay.
It's simple. If you ask how many rooms in the apartment, substitute the word room for floors,
So,
substitute the word apartment for building. What will you get?
كم
دورا في
شقة.
No, شقة is an apartment. You can say how many floors in
Sorry.
an apartment.
Oh, okay. The building, I forgot
What's
the
a
word.
building? مبنى is a building.
مبنى.
Yeah.
So كم
دورا
دورة في مبنى.
دورا في
دورا
المبنى.
في مبنى.
So how many floors in the building? That's one way of asking.
Okay. جزاك الله خيرا.
All these, they're giving you keys, and then you just have to swap and change the vocab. So you've got certain sentence structure. So you've got 4 words in a sentence. You just replace as you're speaking. Replace. And that's how it is. Interestingly, I was listening to somebody who was talking about languages, and they were saying how you don't learn a language by learning vocabulary one by one. You learn a language by learning spoken word through these types of conversations. Few conversations and it sticks. Then you've got a foundation when it comes to your sentence structure. And then, even if it's a second language, there's a few words you can just always hold on to, and then you just change. That's all. That's how it works. So it can take 3 months to learn a language. We learn only about 15-20 minutes a day. But if we have an intensive course, like intensive, where we're learning every day, 2, 3, 4 hours, within 3 months, you'll be speaking properly and fluently, quite fluent. That's the reason you prefer to choose these books over Medina books. In a way, yes. Medina books have a lot more grammar in them. They're very grammar orientated. They have a lot of benefit in them. Also, what's important to mention is when you learn in Medina, they don't only have the Lugha book, they also have a subject on fiqh and hadith and pronunciation and writing and rules of writing, etc., reading. So all that as a whole is able to help the student.